It's Friday and we're here with your essential football fix. Rangers tantalisingly close to winning the Scottish Premiership title. I'm delighted to be joined now from Down Under by fan favourite and former Ger striker Kenny Miller. Kenny, Rangers in unstoppable form. Has the dominance of this team taken you by surprise?
Listen, I don't think even Stephen or any staff or the players could have imagined them going 31 games in the league unbeaten and still unbeaten in Europe as well, which is it's just a phenomenal achievement. The relentless nature and what they've went about their business this year has been so impressive, you know. So it's hats off to them for that. Obviously, long may it continue to the end of the season. I know they're only 4 points away from winning the league, but I'm sure they've come 31 games into a season unbeaten. It would be nice to see them go and finish that one off as well and going through the 38 games unbeaten.
Winning the title, what will it mean to the club, to the fans, to the lads?
Well, I think for the club, it's been a long time coming. It's been 10 years without not just a league title, it's been 10 years without a major trophy. So 10, that dominance that Celtic have had over the last 10 years or so has been, it's really, really important. As obviously I've seen all the furore surrounding 9 in a row and then the potential 10 in a row. That's the added bonus for Rangers to stop that. But getting their first title for me is far more important than 10 years. And like I say, it stops it all and it shows that hopefully the tide's turning a little bit in Glasgow.
James Tavernier, hopefully not out for too much longer. He's been instrumental, really, hasn't he?
He has been. He's been an outstanding member of the team since he came 5 years ago. Really good player, good character. Obviously, he was handed the armband by Stephen when he came up 3 years ago, and it's something that he's taken on board. He's taken on that responsibility as the leader and not just a leader, but he's a catalyst for a lot of their play. He's a big attacking threat for the way, like down that right flank, the way they play. His assists, his goals over his 5 years at the club has been nothing short of outstanding for a fullback. So it's had a big influence on the team since he's came to the club. But obviously, getting that armband, he's had to take over that mantle, and he has done that very well. And you see, he'll be looking forward to getting his hands on that title in a few weeks. Kenny,
you know James, what would winning the title mean to him personally and as team captain?
It'll mean the world to him. You know, I'm sure he'll say when he moved to Rangers, he wanted to come and firstly play a part in getting the club back to the top flight, which he did. And I think he got, 13, 14 goals that season, countless assists. And then as we go back to the top flight, it was to end that dominance. I mean, I was still at the club at the time, and that's a regret that I've got when I never had a chance to finish the job off. You know, so he's been there now 5 years and he's going to get his hands on that title. And like I said, it's been a long time coming, a big pressure. Everything that goes along with playing for Rangers, representing Rangers, but being the captain, there is an added responsibility and burden on you to actually lead the team to what's been, like I said before, their first major honour in 10 years. So it'll mean the world to him. It'll be a relief, but it'll be a well-earned title at the end in the next couple of weeks.
Mathematically, Rangers could do the job this weekend if they win and Celtic don't. That would go some way to certainly brimming confidence levels, wouldn't it, ahead of that trip to Slavia Prague?
It would, but again, I'm sure Stephen and his staff and the players will be looking at it as each game comes. Like, you know, you can't get look too far ahead. You can't get kind of caught up in what's coming up. You need to deal with the job at hand. So the first job will be to beat St Mirren at the weekend, and if so be it, if Celtic drop points and that's the league title done, then fair enough. If not, then you move on to the next game against Slavia Prague. After that, it will then be the trip to Parkhead. So it's, as each game comes, I mean, I'm sure when you get to this season, you want to go over the line. So you'll always be looking at when you can go over the line, and it is one of the hardest things to do is to finish that job off. But it will happen. It's just a case of when. And now I've got the Europa League to look forward to, and their form's just been absolutely outstanding in that, both home and away. You know, I think this team Stephen came in straight away and going through that playoff process and all the qualifiers to get in the Europa League. It's a long, drawn-out process, particularly at that stage of the season, when you're just coming into at the start of the season, and right straight away it's had an impact on the team at that level. And the team just looks stronger and stronger. And I'm sure they're facing anyone at this stage, I'm sure they don't fear them. Yeah, there's some big teams in it, and there'll be some tough games ahead. But on a home and away basis, I think they've looked really, really strong, and they've looked like they can hurt anybody, that's for sure. So they won't fear anybody. Yeah, they need to turn up and they need to do the job and they need to keep that form up. But I'm sure they're looking forward to that as much as they are the last few weeks of the league season.
Steven Gerrard, will he stay?
I would like him to stay. I would love to see him stay. I think what he's built over the last 3 years is a real strong squad. I mean, you look at the bench, you look at the lads are not involved. Any injuries, I think they're able to cover them like for like now, which over the last few years, yeah, they've built the squad. Even last year, the squad was strong, but now it looks stable. Like the changes that he makes, whether it's one or two changes in certain positions, it is like for like. Like I said, I hope he stays, and once he gets over the line with a league title, he'll see what it means to the fans and everything that comes along with it. I'm sure I'll give him hunger for more. You know, he's a young manager who's done a phenomenal job over 3 years, and a lot of people say about the first 2 years and we never won anything and this, but you know, it's not easy. You know, it takes time to put a squad together and put your stamp on a team, particularly when you're against them. You're forgetting you're against a really, really good team in Celtic. They've not become a bad team overnight, but what Rangers have done this year is exert a certain amount of pressure that has led them to maybe not quite coming up with the answers that they have done over the last few years. So, like I said, I love him to stay. Hopefully, it can build on what's been a fantastic year again this year with success, and he can bring more success as years go on. So, again, it will depend on what his goals are. You know, I'm sure he'll want to get to the top, but as every Rangers fan would love him to stay, because what he's built here and the job that he's done, like I said, is truly remarkable over the last few years. And I think to turn the tide the way he has this year, and the form that the team in, the unbeaten form, it's outstanding stuff.
If a job came up at Liverpool, it'd be very hard for him to turn down, though, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the one job you would like to think he doesn't get the chance to get, because that's one I'm sure that he would definitely have to think twice about not taking it, if to put it that way. But listen, it's a good sign if he's getting talked about in that kind of manner, then it shows how good a job he's done for Glasgow Rangers. So like, we can't kind of grudge that. That's always going to be there. I think there'll be other teams as well that are probably sniffing about after seeing the job that him and his staff have done since he's came to the club and what they've built, because it's not. Yeah, Rangers fans and everybody wanted instant success, but I think slowly but surely you've seen that the teams come together. You've seen them growing together. Again, they're like I said before, their squad's stable now, and I'm sure they'll always look at strength, and that's a coach's and a manager's job, is always look to strengthen. But if I'm sure there'll be another few teams who'll be looking at it with one eye on him, thinking if he can do that there at a size of club that the Rangers, I'm sure he could do it for their club as well. So that said, I hope he stays. Hope he gets the hunger for more, which I'm sure he has. He's won pretty much everything there is to win as a player, and this will be his first honours as a manager. I'm sure he'll love it when it comes along.
Kenny, thanks very much for your insights.
No problem.